What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a spicy Spring Cup team with Gastrodon in the lead, Klefki as a save swap and Shadow Mawile'S as a closer. Klefki does share the exact same typing as Mawile'S, but it isn't easily countered by water types and can definitely fight back up against the likes of Tentacruel and Pelipper. It often baits out Mawile'S hardest counter, allowing it to sweep in the end game. Gastrodon is actually very nice in this cup, as it is a hard wall to Galarian Weezing, Tentacruel and Lanturn, but obviously you need to keep it well away from the grass. Unfortunately, Trevenant is a bit annoying to deal with because it does outpace Klefki to those charge moves, and you're certainly not going to be able to tackle farm it down. Despite that, I was still able to beat most Trevenant teams, going 4-1 in each of my first 3 sets running this team. With that being said, let's get into the question of the day. What is the most underrated secondary typing in the Spring Cup meta? So for example, for Klefki and Mawile'S, the primary typing is going to be fairy. That is what makes it eligible for this cup, but the steel typing will be that secondary typing. Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we lead into a Trevenant, absolute worst lead we could see. So we're going to swap out into my Klefki. The opponent is actually staying in, and they do make it to a Shadow Ball before I can get to that foul play. They actually bait with a Seed Bomb, which is unfortunate. They eventually swap into Tentacruel. Usually this is a matchup where I am able to flip it, but I'm already down 1 shield, so I don't really want to expend both shields this early in the game because a naked Shadow Mawile'S is not very strong. We're going to let the charge move go through. It's an acid spray, so we do actually tank it here. And at this point, the opponent's going to have to throw another charge move. Unfortunately, they barely get there in time. Acid Spray does take me out, even though it is net resisted. I'm going to come in with Gastrodon, instantly swap into my Shadow Mawile'S. The opponent responds with a Shadow Wall Rain, and this is a matchup I can flip, but unfortunately, I am down a shield here. They go straight for the Icicle Spear. I'm going to go for that Iron Head. No baiting here, and Iron Head does connect. It takes him out, but unfortunately, Shadow Mawile'S just doesn't have enough health remaining, and these Seed Bombs are seriously going to hurt my Gastrodon here. First one does go shielded. They're already at the second Seed Bomb, and Seed Bomb actually doesn't take us out, and I'm able to Mudslap, farm down the Trevenant and take that game. So Gastrodon is a Trevenant counter confirmed, although I'm not going to stay in this Trevenant matchup here, as that was actually a lie. It's not a counter, but you know, that's just what we say when we do get hard countered, but we still end up winning the game. But into this next battle, you see the opponent might even be running the exact same team. Not really sure. We did scrape past that last opponent, but I don't really want to be seeing this team in every single battle. Gonna let this charge move go through. No, I'm actually going to shield at the last second. It is another acid spray, but I want to make sure I can flip switch advantage here. The opponent actually lets it go through, and they do allow me to flip switch advantage, and they are now going to come in with their Galarian Weezing. I'm not sure if they know the counts or the moves that Klefki can run, and they don't because they end up shielding a foul play which is resisted. I can now come in with Gastrodon, and this is a very comfortable matchup. We can let the brutal swing go through. They can't go for the overheat because it is resisted. They also throw on alignment, which is amazing for me. I'm expecting they instantly swap out, so I swap into my Shadow Mawile'S at the exact same time. All I have to do is shield once. If they go for a bait, they're only going to make it to another Seed Bomb here. And I'm actually going to boost my attack. Doesn't really make much of a difference. We miss out on 1 Fire Fang, but we do increase the damage from the Fire Fangs, so 1 less is required to take them out. And here, the opponent comes back in with the Weezing. We Fire Fang, farm them down, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent, and another Trevenant in the lead, 3 in a row. That is very painful to see, but we've had a pretty good streak so far, so bring on those Trevenant leads. The opponent going to go for a Shadow Ball, the opponent staying in. We're going to go for the foul play here, and this will be grabbing a shield because the opponent probably has no idea what moves we can run, but they're now going to go straight for a Seed Bomb. We can easily live that, and we will get to another foul play, but the opponent catches perfectly onto their Lanturn, so maybe they do know the moves, maybe they know the counts, and that was a very well executed catch. So props to this opponent here for knowing the counts for a Klefki. But into this battle here, and we are in a very good position now. We can just fully Mudslap, farm down this Lanturn just before they make it to a Surf, and I'm actually going to fire off this Earth Power into Trevenant fully expecting that they let it go through, because now I only need a few Fire Fangs to take them out, and they're actually staying in, so I'm thinking that they might be very weak to Mawile in the back, and they are. They've got a Bomber Snow, and this is going to be a very comfortable matchup. They do end up shielding, they'll make it to an Energy Ball, but it does not matter. We can live the Energy Ball, and the Fire Fang takes out a Bomber Snow, and we take that game. So GG's to that opponent there, into another grass type in the lead. We just have no luck so far, but so far we have also been winning every single game. The opponent is actually running double grass with Breloom. I don't know why I go for the flash cannon here. There's literally no reason why they wouldn't shield. Breloom is extremely squishy, and we actually might have been able to get to a second foul play here, but I do just let that move go through because they would be able to fully counter farm me down. Now they are 4 counters away from a Seed Bomb, and we do get the Fire Fang farm down before they can get there, which is really nice for my Mawile. The opponent's going to come in with their Galarian Weezing. I'm going to go for the Iron Head on the CMP tie with an overheat, full sending once again. The opponent lets it go through, and now we're in a really good position here. The opponent going to go for a grass knot bait, and honestly I'm thinking, even though we're a Shadow Mawile, we should be able to tank a Grass Knot fairly comfortably, but I was wrong. That does so much damage. We're going to live with like 1 HP after that Bullet Seed goes through, so we have to swap into the Gastrodon, and it's just a race. Can we get to the Body Slam and deal enough damage with the Mud Saps before they get to back-to-back Grass Knots? And the answer is yes, we can. They've just got there, but the Mud Sap will go through, take out the Credilli, and so far we are 4-0 up against 4 Grass-type lead, so that's a pretty good start for us here. Finally we win a lead. The opponent swaps into a Roserade, and here I make a massive mistake. I underestimated how much damage that would do. I think I did face one Roserade previously and they were running Bullet Seed, so we did actually live the Weather Ball and fully farm them down, but of course Poison Jab going to do much more damage, and they're able to farm me down, flip Switch Advantage, and Switch Advantage is going to be so important in this matchup. I know of course Klefki doesn't do too badly up against Quillfish, but once you see their final Pokemon, you will realize that Klefki up against a Shiftry would have been so comfortable, but unfortunately now it is not looking good. Shiftry will easily outpace us here to the charge moves, but I have to kind of shield here in this matchup because Klefki just doesn't have enough health. The opponent always farming and throwing on the CMP tie, or at least when I get to the energy, so very nice play by this opponent, maximizing their energy. We go for the Body Slam here. The opponent gonna overfarm and throw just before we make it to the next charge move, and they are also at back-to-back moves already. They're actually gonna farm up one more Snarl. They go for a foul play that actually does the exact same damage as a Leaf Blade, by the way, but it doesn't matter. They get to an Aqua Tail here, and even though we won the lead there and we should have hard countered the opponent, I actually end up losing that game, so kind of funny there, but we go 4-1 in that first set. GG's to that opponent, by the way. Very well played. And into the next battle, we lead into a Ferrothorn. The opponent's staying in. They go for a Thunder, which doesn't do as much damage as a Flash Cannon, which is quite nice for us because Flash Cannon would hurt quite a lot as it is neutral because of the steel but also the fairy typing. The opponent going to go for a Bubble Beam here, and I will be able to make it to a foul play in time before they're able to get to another Bubble Beam or Wing Attack farm me down. And the opponent actually sends that Bubble Beam through, and this will take me out, but it means they are energy dry, and now I'm actually going to go for the full Mud Slap farm down. I will get a ton of energy. They're going to continue to spam these Bubble Beams, which is unfortunate, but that's just how it is. I'm going to come out with a lot of energy, but I will be 2 stages debuff, so I'm instantly going to swap out. They come in with Pelipper, and then they swap into the Ferrothorn. That is amazing for Mawile. I'm going to let this move go through. It's just a mirror shot. I can Fire Fang, fall them down fully, and I'm going to go for a Power Up Punch bait. So far, I've full sent the Iron Head, and it has gone through both times, but now I bait, and I do grab a shield, which is amazing for my Shadow Mawile, and I will also make it to the Iron Head in time, and with that boost, even though it's resisted, it does a lot of damage. And at this point, I'm just going to shield here, and I will commit to the Fire Fang farm down. Resisted Fire Fangs, take out the Pelipper, and I take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see a Tentacruel in the lead. Very good lead for us here. Let's try and not screw this one up. They swap into a Trevenant, and this is a bit annoying here because Trevenant can easily grab a shield, but of course they will have to go for the back-to-back seed bombs. It won't take me out, but it will get Mawile very low. Gonna let the second one go through, and now I will go for the Iron Head. I know it's resisted, but everything is resisted here. I'm not going to make it to back-to-back charge moves, so might as well go for that Iron Head. It does some okay damage. We come back in with the Gastrodon as soon as possible. Excuse me there. They go for the Scald. I swap out instantly. The opponent comes in with Razor Leaf Abomasnow. We are down a shield, but this is still looking okay for us. I think we go for a foul play, and that will grab the first shield from the opponent. Remember, we did leave with a bit of energy on our Gastrodon, so we have to take that into account. Gonna go for another foul play, over farming just a little bit here, making sure my opponent doesn't really know how much energy I've got, and the opponent does end up throwing their energy instead of farming me down, which is massive. It allows me to get to the body slam in time, and this will be enough damage to take out the Abomasnow. And do they get to a charge move here? No, they don't, and I'm able to mud slap, farm down the Tentacruel, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Weezing in the lead. The opponent swaps into a Ferrothorn, and the opponent does farm up to a potential Flash Cannon. After that Roserade, I'm just going to shield here. Make sure I guarantee switch advantage. I don't mind going down a shield, I just need switch advantage here in this matchup. And they're going to come in with the Galarian Weezing now. I'm going to go for the Iron Head on the CMP tie with the Overheat, and it does go shielded unfortunately. The opponent's going to have to go for that Overheat to take me out, and they do full send it. I'm actually now going to come in with my Klefki, expecting them to swap out straight away, which is exactly what they do. They come in with the Abomasnow, and because they're running Powder Snow, this is a little bit more comfortable here. I'm actually going to shield, expecting them to go for that energy ball straight away. They end up baiting me, but it actually doesn't matter at all. They can now go for the energy ball, but it's just not going to be enough damage. And energy ball doesn't really do that much damage. I'm able to get to the foul play, overfarm just a little bit, and foul play takes out the Abomasnow. I can swap back into my Gastrodon, and once my opponent sees how little damage this brutal swing will do, they're probably going to surrender. Nope, they actually stay in. Doesn't matter. I get to the body slam. Body slam takes out the Weezing, and I'm able to take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. Into the next game, we see Trevenant in the lead once again. Gonna swap out into my Klefki. The opponent is staying in, and they are gonna throw, but they actually go for the seed bomb, so I can safely let that go through. Gonna overfarm. The opponent comes in with Pelipper now. We're gonna go for the foul play here, and this will do some decent damage, but unfortunately it's not that much, considering Pelipper isn't the bulkiest Pokemon ever. Gonna have to shield the Weather Ball here, and I'm gonna overfarm, but I underestimate their energy. I think I just completely forgot they threw one wing attack before throwing their first charge move, so I was out by one count, and that is gonna cost me for this game, or certainly looks like it so far. They go for the Hurricane that does big damage. I swap it to Mawile, but it is too late, and they still make it to another charge move in time. Weather Ball does some big damage, and the opponent's going to come back in with their Trevenant, which is a very odd decision here, and you will see that Mawile would have been able to easily clean up this backline if I had just played that matchup up against the Pelipper a little bit better here. The opponent has to throw their energy to take out my Mawile. They go for the Seed Bomb, it takes me out, and they've got Ferrothorn in the back, so I didn't even need that much HP on my Shadow Mawile to win that game there, but unfortunately I do end up losing because of a misplay. So GG's to that opponent. And into the next battle, we see a Lanturn in the lead. I don't actually have the best response to a Mantine save swap, so I'm gonna get off the body slam damage first, and now after they throw an Ice Beam, get rid of a ton of their energy. I will come in with my Klefki, and now this just guarantees I will be able to win switch advantage. They actually end up going for another Ice Beam here. Not sure if they know that I am part steel, or they just know that Ice Beam does a little bit more damage than a Bubble Beam, but either way I'm able to take them out. They come back in with the Lanturn, and we go for a foul play just before they make it to a Surf. Foul play does go through. The opponent gonna overfarm here and throw just before I make it to another charge move. Surf takes me out. I'm gonna come in with my Gastrodon, and unfortunately I will have to shield a Surf here, but I will end up using a shield here. and they are going to be able to make it to another charge move before I can farm down. So I go for the body slam here, and the fact that they're staying in makes me think Gastrodon is really strong against whatever they have in the back. So I actually swap into my Shadow Mawile. The opponent comes in with their Galarian Weezing, and at this point I'm just going to force them to go for that overheat. The opponent baits with a brutal swing. I can now get to that Iron Head, and this will be taking out the Weezing. And it does take them out. They don't even use the shield there for whatever reason. And I will be able to Mud Slap, farm down the Lanturn, and take that game. So GG's to that opponent there. And that was another 4-on-1 set. And into the next battle, a bonus battle, we lead into a Shadow Abomasnow. The opponent comes in with a Confusion Slowbro. I actually forgot about Slowbro having access to Surf now. And with Confusion, it's probably a pretty good matchup up against the Galarian Weezing, although you do have to watch out for those brutal swings. The opponent goes for the Surf here. I'm going to go for a Foul Play just before they make it to the second Surf. Foul Play grabs a shield from the opponent, and now will I be able to outpace them to the final charge move here? I'm going to shield. I think I can get there in time, and I will be able to get there, so I overfarm as much as possible, going for the Foul Play. We take out the Slowbro, we regain switch advantage, they come in with a Abomasnow, they swap and they catch onto the Tentacruel. It doesn't matter anymore, we've got the alignment we need. Gonna come in with my Gastrodon, fully farm down this Tentacruel. I can let this move go through, I mean I've got no shields, I have to, but they go for an Acid Spray here. Doesn't make a difference. Gonna go for a Mud Slap, doesn't matter if they take me out here. But they actually go for the Weather Ball instead, and now I can even go for the double body slams here. First one does big damage, the second one will actually be enough to take out the Abomasnow from this range, and we take that game. Didn't even need to use the Shadow Mawile there. And into the final battle of this video, we lead into a Tentacruel. The opponent swaps into a Trevenant, and once again, this is a bit of an awkward matchup here because I do have to use a shield to guarantee I win it. And even if they go straight Seed Bombs here, if we didn't shield the first one, a second one would take us out. And also we learn here that we actually don't win CMP up against the Trevenant, which is very interesting, something I did not know. But I'm able to Fire Fang, farm them down. We've gone down a shield here, which is unfortunate. They're going to come back in with the Tentacruel, and we're not going to be able to do much damage with this Power Up Punch, but it will do more than a Fire Fang, so we do send it. They've got a Ferrothorn in the back, and this is a problem for this team. If the opponent has a Trevenant in the lead, and then a Trevenant as the safe swap, and then Ferrothorn in the back, it is very difficult to deal with because Trevenant will get a shield advantage, and then down a shield, Klefki isn't going to be able to beat this Ferrothorn. We go for the second Foul Play here. The opponent now knows the moves, and they will let the second move go through. Obviously, I've got no shields remaining. They go for that Flash Cannon, and at this point, I'm expecting them to swap out and try and catch a move. So I swap, and I do read them perfectly. I go for the Body Slam here, and this will put them into range where I can farm them down. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get enough Mud Slap damage to get to a second charge move before I farm them down here. And now at this point, unfortunately, this Body Slam isn't going to do enough damage here. We actually end up getting the shield, but we don't have a charge move loaded yet onto our Klefki, so they will be able to go for a Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon takes out the Klefki, and we lose that game. So GG's to that opponent there. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way, you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And with that being said, let's get into the shoutouts from my previous video. So firstly, we got Mawile'S who says, unfortunately, Celebi in the Master League. I've tried to use it with all different movesets except Magical Leaf because I think it is not worth it to use an Elite TM on it. It just has way too many weaknesses and it is walled by almost every Pokemon in the meta, no matter the moveset. Or maybe it's just a skill issue. Nope, it's definitely Celebi being a pretty rubbish typing for the Open Master League. Although I think if you are investing in it, I think you have a hundo, right? If you have powered up your Celebi for the Open Master League, you might as well give an Elite TM on it, and it will at least help it out up against like Kyogre and Groudon, although you're probably not going to be winning much else, unfortunately. Next, we got Raphael D, who says Pheromosa in the Open Ultra League. Now, I had a really rough time using it in the Open Great League, but I can only imagine it's that much harder in the Ultra League since Pokemon are bulkier. Pheromosa doesn't have the best fast move in Bug Bite. I really wish we did see a Bug Bite buff in a future season. Make it like Dragon Breath, that would be really cool. But yeah, unfortunately, you just don't really hit that hard with the fast moves, and then you're relying on the charge moves, which aren't that fast to get to. So yeah, I can imagine it's pretty tough to use in the Ultra League. And finally, we've got Victor P, who says Shadow Kadabra. And if you don't know, Shadow Kadabra has a higher attack stat than Shadow Alakazam, and obviously it does have Psycho Cut. It can get to those charge moves fairly fast, but it's got no fast move pressure, unlike Shadow Alakazam. So if the opponent does choose to shield, you probably don't even make it to a second charge move anyway, and then you just get fully farmed down. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.